whether the serial communication of asynchronous or synchronous type, the data will be sent in the form of frames. So these frames will be having the start bit as well as stop bit, and there may be minimum of one start bit and more than one or greater than one bit or equal to one bit will be the stop bit. We can add it, but here one start bit we will be adding. So in with respect to this configuration, when the data has been transmitted, the data will be transmitted in the form of parallel in serial out at the transmitter, and it will be received at the receiver with respect to the parallel serial in parallel out register. So this is about your serial communication. Whenever this serial communication, when it is done, the unit that is we are using to transmit the data, it is in terms of bits per second. That is what we'll be using to define the serial communication bit rate. And this bit rate, there are varied bit rates you can see with respect to the 8051. The various bit rates which we will come across in any of the computing device are 9600. These are the bit rates or baud rates, you can say. Only the difference between baud rate and the bit rate, yesterday's class I have distinguished. Through the modem, when the same bit has been transmitted, it is termed to be the baud rate. Whenever this particular baud rate we are choosing, so this 9000, since 8051 can be configured for various bit rates. One is the 9600 bit rate, and the next one it is the 4800 bits per second, then 2400 bits per second, 1200 bits per second. During this time, what is the actual value that we need to load onto TH1 in decimal or in hexadecimal? Let us see TH1 in hexadecimal. So whenever we go for this TH1, if the 9600 bits per second, if it is chosen for the data transmission, during that time the TH1, it has to be loaded with -3, and equivalent to this it is FD. 4800 has to be transmitted with -6 and with an baud rate of FA, and 2400 baud rate with the -12 with an hexadecimal value of F4H. 1200 when it has to be transmitted, when it is getting transmitted as the bit rate, it is -24, that is equivalent to E8. So these are the values to be loaded whenever serial communication it is to be used with respect to 8051 for different baud rates. Now if this suppose how do we get these baud rates? How the derivation of the bit rate or the baud rate we will be considering. For this, let us take one example. Okay, so with respect to that, let us see how this serial. Before I go for the standards which are available, let me discuss the various important factors related to serial communication. With respect to, now the question arises, how do we set this 9600 or 4800 or 2400 or 1200 bits per second? For that, let us take one simple example. Example 1 says that given X-star frequency, that is the crystal frequency is of 11.0592 megahertz, find the TH value. Find the how these values we got it. For that, this is an illustration. Find the TH1 value needed to have the following baud rates. Have the following baud rates. Which are the following baud rates? Following baud rates. So the baud rates which we need to have, because number of bits per second when it has to be transmitted, clock for an through the timer, it has to support for these serial communications. Hence, timers will be in use. So whenever timers we are using, baud rates first we need to choose. To choose that baud rate, the TH value to be loaded onto the timer TH1 register or timer 1 register to be computed. The first example is to be calculated is 9600 bits per second. The second baud rate that has to be computed is 2400 bits per second. The third one, it is the third one 1200 bits per second. So how do we take this particular frequency or this particular baud rate? So for that, given solution we can compute like this. Given the crystal frequency, we know that only the X-tal frequency 11.0592 megahertz. So now, when the timer crystal frequency we are using, the Mason frequency, Mason cycle frequency, how much it is? One Mason cycle frequency you compute. One Mason cycle frequency is X-tal divided by 12. So this 12 is one Mason cycle will have 12 T states. So therefore what we have done, it is the crystal frequency we are dividing by 12. So what the frequency you will be getting is 921.6 kilohertz as the frequency that we will be getting for the one Mason cycle. Okay. Now with respect to this Mason cycle, we have to compute the UART frequency. So UART frequency when you are computing, so UART is the actual universal universal asynchronous receiver transmitter. So whenever you are using USBs or UARTs for the serial communication transmission, UART will be using. This UART always it expects divide by 32 frequency from the Mason cycle. So therefore you have to compute the UART frequency. So one Mason cycle you know, so therefore F UART will be equal to the F1 Mason cycle divided by 32. So whenever this 921.6 kilohertz you are dividing by 32, you will be getting as 28,800 hertz. So this is the actual frequency your UART will be using. But this UART frequency is the frequency provided by UART to timer 1 to set the baud rates. Now this will be the frequency that will go to an timer 1. So whenever this frequency comes to timer 1, using this frequency the UART baud rates needs to be set. So hence therefore timer 1 baud rate, how do we set to set the required baud rate? It is as follows. Calculate the value. So 28,800 is the actual hertz, means number of bits per second it is getting transmitted, divided by what is the required baud rate? Required baud rate is it is actual UART frequency. Let me write UART frequency divided by required baud rate will give you the value that needs to be loaded onto TH1. Okay. So therefore, if you are computing 28,800 divided by the first baud rate that supposed to be set is 9,600. So you can substitute that value. What the value that you are going to get? Approximately this is equal to 3. So hence 3 is the value that we need to load onto TH1. So where -3 and this, when you are loading onto TH value, TH register, its equivalent negative value you need to set. So therefore if TH is equal to -3, that is equal to in hexadecimal FDH. Similarly, you compute for the TH1 for the 4,600 baud rate. So you will be getting as equal to 12. So this 12, when has to be loaded onto TH1, it should be loaded with -12. So that's equivalent hexadecimal value is F4. So this is how the various baud rates we will be fixing with the timer registers. Okay, please remember, students, whenever the timer needs to be used, the baud rates have to be set. What are the baud rates which the timer which is able to give for a consolidation? It may be 9,600 or 4,600, or it may be 2,400 or 1,200 and so on bits per second. So these are the baud rates your UART can give. That is nothing but number of bits supposed to be transmitted per second, but UART will run with what frequency? It is F crystal divided by 12. That is the actual frequency. That whole thing, it is divided by 32 is the UART frequency. So with respect to that frequency, TH1 value you can compute. So this is how to set a baud rate for the required number of bits per second in serial communication. This is the process you need to follow. Now, another important thing before we go for the serial communication, we should know is that how do this particular 8051 will transmit, 8051 will transmit the UART, the data serially. So for that you have the serial data transfer pins. See, any of the pin can be configured. Out of 4 ports, any of the pin can be configured for output transmitting the data. So therefore you can use this 8051, any of the port pins. Whenever this 8051, when it is, say for example P3.1, when it has to be configured for serial data transmission, the 8051 already we know that it will have the 8 bits data. This 8 bits data needs to be transferred to the serial port, that is P3.1. How? The question now. For that, this 8-bit data that is supposed to be transmitted from 8051 to the outside world serially, that has to be loaded onto S buffer register. So students, you please remember this S buffer register is an register, 8-bit register which supports for serial communication. What the data needs to be loaded or transferred serially. So that should come parallelly onto this particular register. Parallel in serial out needs to be used. Parallel in serial out register needs to be used, and that register is an S buffer register. The data or the character supposed to be transmitted, always it should come on to S buffer register. So the data to be transmitted via, there are any of the port pins also you can make use, but there is a dedicated pin for the serial communication on the 8051. One is the TXD line, that also you can make use, and the other serial communication, serial data 8051, when it has to receive, it can receive through the RxD pin. So these are the two pins dedicated for serial communication. Whenever this data transmission or data reception between 8051 to the real outside world, if it has to be done, which is the register that is interfaced between 8051 and the TXD and the RxD, it is an S buffer register. Students, when you want to transmit any character or any data, how do we load means for that? And here is an example that you can consider is that move S buffer. S buffer is an SFR that can be placed with the data that needs to be transferred. Say for example, my name I have to transfer it serially. So what I'll do, character by character, I'll be placing move S buffer, comma, O, so that within the code represents it is an ASCII equivalent. So like this, all the characters I need to place, and during the transmission, move A, comma, S buffer. So whichever the character that needs to be sent, it has to take onto the from the S buffer onto the accumulator, and you need to send it to the required port pin, that is required serial communication pin through the, once it is placed like this, it will be, so then you can start the timer and you can transmit the data serially. The another important register which you have to know is that it is an SCON register. So this SCON register, it is an serial which is a register which supports for serial communication. So let this SCON, it is an 8-bit register. It is called as the special function register, which supports for especially the serial communication. How do this 8-bit S buffer, which is representing the functionality, for that let us take this 8-bit SCON register. S buffer is an register simply. SCON is a serial mode control register. So it is termed to be serial mode control register. Whenever serial communication needs to be established with 8051, this SCON register to be used. Then this SCON pins, which are the pins SCON register, it should be used. It should be used that will be represented as SM0. All the 8 bits of SCON serial mode control register, 8 bits are representing like this. First let us learn which are the each pin configurations representing what function of SCON register, and then we'll go for the programming as well as the standards which are available for serial communication. Yeah, now these are the various bits of your SCON register. There is an RI, there is an TI, then there is an RB8, TB8, REN, SM2, SM1 and SM0. So this particular 8-bit SCON register is an 8-bit register. used to program the start bit and the stop bit and the data bits of data framing among the other things. So this particular SCON register, now let us see what it represents. SM0, SM1, SM2. This is D7 bit. This will be D0 bit, D1, D2, etc. This is D7 and this is D6, D5, D4, D3. These are the bits we have. First, let us see what this particular mode bits are. How many bits are representing the modes? SM0 serial mode bit 2, serial mode bit 3. So SM0, SM1, SM2, all these 3 bits represents the serial mode configuration. Which mode you have to make use for an serial communication, that will be represented through these 3 modes. By setting these 3 bits, 3 mode bits, we can configure the serial communication. Which are the modes? Let us discuss. Okay, now serial mode specifier, these 3 bits. I'll give you these each bit configuration represents what. Then this REN. What is that REN? This is D4, which is representing SCON.4. So this particular SCON.4 or REN, it is used to set or clear by software. So you have an option to set or clear this particular SCON.4 for what purpose? Through the software instructions to enable or disable reception. Enable or disable reception. When the serial communication, see through this 8051, whenever there is an TXD line and RXD line, so RXD line means 8051 serially receives the data. TXD means it transmits the data to the outside world. Whenever this reception, especially this REN supports for reception, when the data serially needs to be received by this 8051, then SCON, through this SCON D4 bit or SCON.4 bit, that serial reception of data will be under control. How do this particular, so this is SCON first, SCON.4. If it is set SETB, this is an only single bit. Set SCON.4 means it is serial reception is enabled. Serial reception of data, it is enabled. If this particular bit you are not set by mistake through while writing the program, even though you need to receive the data, if you forget to set this particular, then you are not able to receive any serial data into the 8051 for processing, or 8051 cannot receive if the programmer does not set this particular. So through the CLR SCON.4, so this particular instruction, through this instruction, serial reception can be disabled. That is what the function of this REN bit. Similar to this, there are few more bits which are available. One is TB8. Another bit is TB8. This TB8 represents SCON.3. So this particular SCON.3, it is not widely used. Why this particular bit it is not widely used? This STB8 transmit. What does that represent means? Transmit bit 8 of 8051 data. So what does that mean? So a frame will have 8 bits. right? These 8 bits represented as the D0 to D7. But suppose if the frame has got some stop bit, so this stop bit can be transmitted through the TB8 pin. So that is the function of, by setting a value to 1, 1 will be set as the transmitting bit. If it is set to 0, 0 will be the stop bit that is going to be set after D7. So that will be this TB8. Then the RB8. The next bit is RB8 of SCON register. This is representing SCON dot 2. So this particular SCON dot 2, this is an receiving bit. This also won't be used widely, not widely used, but what is the function of this? It is to receives the bit 8 of data frame. So what does that mean? You will have 8 bits data. 8 bits data. After receiving all 8 bits data, starting from D0 to D7 on to parallel serial in parallel out register, that is your S buffer. The ninth bit is the stop bit in a frame. So this ninth bit, when it has to be received, that bit will go to this RB8. So this is about your TB8 and RB8 of your SCON register. Then the next bit of this SCON register is TI, that is representing SCON dot 1. This will be transmit interrupt flag. Transmit interrupt flag. Okay, so this particular transmit interrupt flag set by hardware at the beginning of the stop bit in mode 1 must be cleared by software. So whenever the complete transmission it is getting completed 8-bit data, it will be set by hardware. Otherwise it will be cleared. Then one more is RI. So this is SCON dot 0. This particular bit represents the receive interrupt flag. Like overflow flag, how the timer used to indicate. In the similar way, the transmission of complete data serially, if it is completed, TI will set to 1. If the reception of 8 bits data is completed, receive interrupt flag. So hence it is representing the receive interrupt flag. This will be set to 1 by hardware once it is receives the stop bit at stop bit. Okay. So this is what about the SCON register details, and here usually, please remember students, usually the 3 bits SM2, TB8, RB8, we will be setting to 0. This you please remember when you go for any of the programs, when you are writing for serial communication. The another 2 important mode bits which we need to discuss is SM0 and SM1. Okay, the combinations can be 00, 01, 10 or 11. Whenever this 00 it is set, serial mode 0, then 01 if it is set, serial mode 1. But in this particular serial mode 1, 8-bit data we will be transmitting along with one start bit and one start bit. One start and one stop bit. We will be transmitting with this 0, 1. So the 1, 0 represents serial mode 2. Mode 2 and this 1, 1 represents serial mode 3. Okay. So it's usually when of the 4 modes, whatever we have seen with respect to the serial communication modes, the mode 1 usually will prefer to go for serial communications, not any other mode, either mode 0 or mode 1 or mode 2 or mode 3 we are not going to make use. So this is about the serial communication, because why we'll go for this particular mode 1 only. IBM PCs, as we use this IBM PCs, serial ports are your COM ports, supports for only the mode 1 communication. Hence we will be using IBM COM ports supports only for mode 1. So therefore, what should be the SCON register content? Hence, let me write the SCON register contents or calculate the SCON register contents. Students, please can you tell me before transmitting SCON contents how it should be? SM1, SM0, SM1 should be 01. SM2 should be 0. Then, which is the next bit? REN, reception, you want to enable? No, for the transmission we have to set. So it should be 0. Then TB8 0, RB8 0, TI 0. This is also 0. What is its equivalent value? It is 40H. So that should be loaded onto SCON register. Okay, now how do we program this particular serial communication? Programming steps I'll explain, and then I'll go for next class few programs to solve on this. Programming steps. When the serial communication needs to be done, first thing what you have to do is that TMOD register is loaded with 20H. Why 20H? Timer 1. Always 20H you need to load it. The reason TMOD when you are considering, okay, this TMOD 20H representing how, what value? 0, 0, 1, 0, then these are all 0, 0, 0, 0. So these 4 bits represents timer 0, okay, which is not in use, but whereas these 4 bits represents timer 1 where it is defined. So timer 1 in mode 1 it is used, means timer 1 it is mode 1. It is a 16-bit timer it is acting. So that is the actual timer to be chosen, mode to be chosen for the serial communication. Hence, we are loading, sorry students, yes, 10 means it is not 8-bit, sorry, 8-bit auto reload mode. Timer 2, timer 1 in mode 2, auto reload mode we have to make use, because here TH1 we have to set with a value, right? Whenever TH value we are setting, it will be automatically, it should be automatically reloaded for the transmission as well as for the reception. Hence we have to load first TMOD with 20H. Okay, so whenever this TH you are loading, load as per the above table, as per load as per table, baud rate equivalent hex values. Suppose 9600, it has to be loaded with FDH and so on. It has to be loaded. After loading with, the next step is Timodia initialized load TH1 register with different baud rates. Then third one, load SCON register. So for which mode you need to operate this SCON serial communication, based on that you have to go for an SCON. Whenever we are loading SCON register, what should be loaded? Because 8051 will support for IBM PCs. Then the SCON value, what should be loaded? Let us see. So this is SM0, SM1. It should be mode 1, so 01. This SM2 should be 0. REN, reception, the reception or what is this bit representing? It is REN, receive enable. So receive enable, if you want to make the complete reception and the transmission together, so during that time you can set this value, rest you can place it with 00. So this represents a SCON with 50H. 50H, whenever SCON 50H is placed, mode 1 with 1 start bit and 1 stop bit, frame width, mode 1, in mode 1 frame width, 1 start bit and 1 stop bit, along with that reception is enabled. Fine students. Okay. Now this is about your receiving and the transmission loadings. The next step is set timer 1. How to set timer 1? You know, you can set that. Okay. Next, after setting the timer, TI to be cleared. In 5 minutes. TI should be cleared, okay, using CLR TI instruction. Okay. Next is data to be transferred, load with S buffer. Data to transfer, load the data to be transferred onto S buffer register. And then next step, keep monitoring TF1 using JNB TI into XX. So afterwards, 8th step, to transfer next character, repeat from step 5. So these are the 8 different steps you need to follow whenever you go for serial communication. Students, I think I'll be stopping at this point.